Well, let's talk about that first presidential debate. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, gentlemen. Hammerhand, the MGTOW monk, back at you one more again. Yo, man. Yo. So, I watched the entire thing, and yeah, it was a clusterfuck. It really was. I do not like Chris Wallace as a moderator. I think, now I want to clarify that. I think that the questions, the prepared questions and comments by Wallace were fine. But what I don't like about moderation is his moderation in particular. This is the second time that Chris Wallace has done this, that I've paid attention to anyways. The other one was in 2016. And Chris Wallace has a tendency to, well, it's more than a tendency. Chris Wallace is a big fucking blue pill with some red pill wrapping. To put it in our parlance, Chris Wallace is a liberal. He's a liberal, plain and simple, who kind of sprinkles conservative talking points into his shit to kind of make people think that he's something that he's not. You know, and I'm not saying that it's him trying to be deceitful, but it just comes across that way. It comes across as disingenuous, is what it comes across as far as I'm concerned, anyway. But for me tonight, the big takeaway from this first debate was watching Trump just push him and bully him. You know, and fucking he just ran him over. Every opportunity that he got, he ran him over. He questioned everything. He challenged everything. And at one point in time, he says to Chris Wallace, he says, "Am I going to have to debate you too and Biden?" Because that's what Chris Wallace's MO is. He will absolutely, when that liberal guy or gal gets into trouble, he jumps in and just stymies the conversation. But if the conservative or the Christian or the Republican gets in trouble, he's less inclined to do that. The big takeaway for me tonight was the fact that Trump separated Biden from the far left. And he got Biden to say it in his own words. He got Biden to say that he does not support this Green New Deal, this $100+ trillion monstrosity that these far left cocksuckers, you know who I'm talking about, right? Alexandria Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Ilana Presley, all of those fucking morons over there that sit around, and really they're going to end up being the leaders at some point in time of the Democratic Party, or there will end up being a formation of another party, of a third party, maybe like a Green Party, like a real Greens Party, a real Marxist party. And they're just going to come out and say it. Fuck it, we're Marxists and this is what we want to do. I mean, that's what they're being called already. But the big takeaway for me was Trump was successful in getting Biden to disavow his loyalty or his allegiance. He's been saying it everywhere. The Green New Deal, the Green New Deal, climate change, all of this shit, right? He's saying all of this crap. And he's acting like he's fronting for this shit, like he's stumping for it. And then he just disavowed it on national television. He said, nope, I do not support that. He could not and would not say law enforcement, that he was for law enforcement, that he was for law and order. He would not say it. Now, don't get me wrong when I'm saying this. I'm not cheering on law and order. You know me well enough to know, if you've been around here enough, I don't like the fact that we have so much of a police presence. I don't like the fact that we have fucking 50,000 laws on the book. And that's a literal number too, by the way. It's not like hyperbole or hyperbole. That's a literal number. It's like something like 50,000 fucking laws on the books. It's absurd. It's absurd. We don't need that. I don't need to be told when and where to go take a piss, or how to fucking squeeze my asshole. It's absurd. It's absurd. He flustered Biden quite a bit. There was another one too. Oh man, I wish I could remember that. I should have made some fucking notes. You can see, I watched Hannity in like 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, Hannity was like, oh, he steamrolled him. He tore him up. He just destroyed him. He didn't. Trump looked unprepared. I thought he was more cogent, more lucid than Biden. A lot more. But he did not look prepared to me. If Biden had been sharper and focused more, I think Biden could have really done some damage in this debate. Because the one thing that you can sense between the two of them is that there's an absolute fucking hatred. Absolute hatred. It got real personal, real nasty. And you can expect this to be the norm in politics from here until somebody decides to fix shit. And who the hell knows when that's going to be? I don't know when that's going to be. I don't think anybody does, really. Man, I wish I could remember that other point. There was another point that I wanted to make. But he got Biden to say that he was not supporting the far left platform that he was kind of stumping for on that Green New Deal, that asinine thing that Cortez put up. And he would not say anything positive about law and order. He did say that he thinks that violence should be prosecuted, that the police should have all of the options on the table to do what they need to do, and blah. All of this nonsense, all of this bullshit. And only just a week or two ago came out and said the same thing, started saying, after 100 fucking days of rioting, death, murder, arson, and after 100 days of that, they finally kind of figured out that maybe this wasn't the way to go. What a fucking sham this political system is. What a sham that this is what we've got. This is what you've got. It's unreal. It's unreal. It's not real. It's not real that this is what it is here in probably the most prosperous country on planet Earth. No lie about that. No joke about that. And that this is our political system. He was making good points. Trump was, about critical race theory being banned, well, how he banned it and why he banned it. And the first thing out of his mouth was because it was racist. Now, if you believe in racism and the racist concept, I don't. But if you believe in that, then yeah, that fits the bill, and that gives you something to cheer about, because it is, in those definitions, it is racist. Absolutely. You're taking an entire group of people and you're placing attributes at their feet because of the color of their skin. You're handing down original sin, so to speak, from generation to generation to generation. You can never wash your hands of it. You always have to bow and scrape. There will never be enough. There will never be enough satisfaction. Never, ever. So it's really fucked up that it was instituted to begin with. But all of these things come about with these democratic, liberal governors, politicians, senators, congressmen, eventual presidents. Just really disgusting, despicable, distasteful shit. Biden got in a couple of good shots. I can't lie about that. But he also showed his frustration. When he told Trump to shut up, you know, that was I guarantee you that was part of the game plan, was for Trump to go in there and just kind of bull rush him and challenge everything that he said. Man, it's well known that we're at an ideological and societal cliff. Maybe it's not known to the fucking normies out here, but it's known to us. We know that. We know what's coming if things don't get turned around very, very quickly. And I'm not so sure that if the change started tomorrow, I'm not sure that we have enough time to fix things, to get things squared away and straightened out. But, yeah. I thought that it was an interesting debate, not because of its intellectual prowess, but because it was just a fucking slugfest from the word go. It was a slugfest from the word go. It was uncomfortable to watch. It was uncomfortable. It was fucking brutal. It really was. I mean, to watch these two guys just sit there and just slug it out. One of the things that I wanted to say when I was thinking that, when I was watching the debate, I started thinking to myself, you know, I'm going to say that from my point of view, just my point of view, that most of the things that Trump said were rooted in truth. They were rooted in fact. And when these really questionable Ukrainian, Chinese, Burisma deals were brought up, when Hunter Biden was brought up, it got nasty, man. It got dirty. And then Biden himself tried to inject his dead son and his dead son's service record, you know, and nobody was talking about that. He just tried to throw that shit in there to try to confuse what Trump was saying, to make it look like Trump was attacking a dead former serviceman, you know. just fucking crazy shit. Man, even just a few years ago, you could not have imagined a presidential debate being this. It's crazy. It's really crazy. So who do I think? Did I think anybody won this? I think the American people lost. That's what I think. I think the real loser in this is the American people and the American political system. But if I had to pick one, I would say that it was a slight edge to Trump. A slight edge to Trump. If Trump had been more focused, if he had been more focused, both of them had no focus. It was very strange to see. But I think that Trump held it together a little bit better than Biden did. Biden went off the fucking rails early and often. He outright is throwing epithets at Trump, and everybody knows that they don't fit. Everybody knows that they don't fit. Calling him a racist, accusing him of killing thousands of people with the fucking Wuhan surprise. You know, give me a fucking break. Everybody knows that shit came from China. Everybody knows. Everybody knows that the fucking beer flu came from China. Everyone. This guy acted very, very fast, very, very credibly. And while he was acting, he was being called a xenophobe and a fucking racist. That's why I don't pick up on these words. That's why I give those words zero weight. zero credibility, because you will eventually try to find yourself moving inside the framework of those words. That's a non-starter for me, man. I thought that it was just it was fucking humiliating. It was humiliating to watch these two men deride and degrade themselves the way that they did, and in turn degrade the American public, the American electorate. But I guess the days of pride are fucking gone. You know, like a lot of things are. Lots of things are gone by the wayside. So that's about what I thought, gents. Like, if I got to pick a winner, I think that the winner slightly is Trump on this one. I thought Biden did better than I expected him to do, but he still cracked a few times and and rambled. That nonsensical rambling of his, when he loses that train of thought or he runs that last sentence, he doesn't know what to say. He doesn't know what to say. But I thought that the big takeaway of the night was Trump forcing Biden. And I don't think Biden realized that he got maneuvered, but he was forcing Biden to break with the far left of the Democrat Party. So now the far left Democrat Party, you know that they were sitting there and they're like, oh man, nuh-uh, he didn't just say that shit. Oh man. And it's not that big a section, but there's a lot more leftists that have Marxist tendencies than not today. So, yeah. A vote for Biden from them right now would be a vote of spite. That's it. That's it. So, I'll see you for the next one, gents. Enjoy. If you watched the debate and you had the courage to let that fucking air pollution infiltrate your fucking audio canals, you have my respect. Peace out.